New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group Endurance Series. We're here at the Red Bull Ring. Not even sure where this track is, but a very unique track here with road racing action happening here live on Verdane TV. Coming here for the very first time to the Red Bull Ring here on the network. So great to have you here with us tonight. Joining me in the booth on this ice cold bush light. We crack open cold beer watching road racing here with some of New England and Northeast Canada's and then the East Coast, kind of a who's who in the sim racing world with some of the drivers. A lot of the drivers have real connections to real race teams all across the short tracks, across the Northeast, across Canada, and really pretty much everywhere. And these drivers getting lined up, just wrapping up qualifying last week's winner, last month's race. Easy enough for me to say the English language. Very difficult sometimes, especially when you do it live like we do here on the main TV. But the last time we raced was January 11th. Brett Roy came home in a victory lane in number 26 car, and he is going to be leading the field here tonight on the pole with a minute 31 second .4 lap time. You can see the 56 of Evan Bollier. We took some notes this week. How about that 56 crew? Evan Bollier going to start second so far. A couple of drivers still making their last minute lap times to make sure they get themselves qualified up towards the front. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the main TV here tonight. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. Up here in the broadcast booth, and it looks like we've got about 20 cars or so lined up, and we're going to go here at the Red Bull Ring. Being joined by, looks like Brent, but we're also English fan. I'm telling you, Brent Roy joins us in the booth. Brent, how we doing?
Voice filter.
Things work great when they want to. Taking a look at some of the cables here, getting everything lined back up, and want to thank you for warning. Did that? Well, Brent in and out. So we'll do the whole intro again. We do it live here on Verdane TV. Apologize for that. A little bit of technical difficulties, but thank you so much here for joining us at the Red Bull Ring. First time we've been at this racetrack here on Verdane TV, and we're doing it live. Getting ready to go here. 45 minutes on the clock, and that's how long this here race is going to be. Race number 2 in the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group's Endurance Series. And last month's winner on January 11th was going to be Brent Roy, and he is starting on the pole here tonight, and you can see that 26 car, that Lamborghini up front in the point standings. The Lamborghini's leading the manufacturer point standings as well. Western Pennsylvania iRacing Group, the Ferrari team, is leading the team points by 3, and this is absolutely going to be a barn burner. Taking a peek now, 22 cars strong here for 45 minutes at the Red Bull Ring. Standing start, getting ready to take that green flag. We'll take a quick look here at the starting lineup. The Mike Hopkins birthday bash, COVID kick away party, healthy. Everybody's doing well from what I understand, so that is definitely good news. Big time shout out to my dad, who's just getting recovered from COVID, and he'll be home soon, which is pretty exciting. But Brent Roy on the pole, and how about it, 56 crew? Evan Bollier. We took our notes this week. How about it? We're going to forget by Thursday, the next NEP Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series race, but we'll get it right one time here. Evan Bollier going to start on the outside of row number 2. The grid disappears because the grid is green. Racing here at the Red Bull Ring. Oh, leader gets spun around. Brent Roy gets a little bit of a tap from Zane Farrell, and he sends himself around right there on lap number 1 before they even get to turn number 2. Austin Belke going to hold on to the lead right now. Now side by side, the 56 and Zane Farrell in the 14 car. Mr. Corey Casagrande back in there as well, and you can see little team paint scheme action going on with some of these drivers, and Newer series, race number 2 this season here. So it's going to take us a minute to get used to the different paint schemes and different colors, different drivers, different teammates, and all sorts of stuff. But we made mention Brent Roy leading the point standings by just a couple over second place Kenny Kibbe, Austin Belke up there in third, Ben Wolfson in fourth, Matt Chinoski in fifth in the drivers' standings here. As far as the team points go, Western PAI Racing up on top with 229 Autosports right in behind them, 3 points behind, and YRD Porsche Works in third place. Flying Lizard McLaren back in fourth, Marhefka Motorsports in fifth, and GSM Forge Factory back in the sixth place. But you can see right now, Evan Bollier in the 56 car gets a little bit of separation from the top 4 drivers who are pretty much nose to tail as they go around here. Just a couple of minutes in, 45 minutes on the clock we made mention, and we are racing. Racing here at Red Bull Ring, race number 2 here in the NEP Endurance season. We saw these guys race these cars last season, and to a great season all night or all season long, as these drivers were able to get around the racetrack. And we're so used to seeing these guys on short tracks. We've seen some road racing as well, or a little bit of short track racing, a little bit of super speedway racing just recently, and these drivers were all on the road course here in the Grand National Series here just a few weeks ago. And man, oh man, it's entertaining to see lots of different driving styles, lots of different personalities throughout the racetrack, and you can see a lot of these drivers able to put in a lot of practice laps into this race, into these cars, and you can see getting around here relatively quickly. Austin Belke up towards the front. That's John Peters in the 09 car, struggling with the handling of that car, back 9 spots from where he qualified, currently running in the 19th spot. There's Brent Roy off in the beach again, not having a good time with that car, was able to get a good lap out for qualifying, started up towards the front, but just not able to hold on to the back end of that car, unfortunately. And you can see out front, Austin Belke, the man to beat right now, that number 24 Ferrari. Check that, that's a Lamborghini up front. That's getting chased down by Zane Farrell. Corey Casagrande right in behind him. Kenny Kibbe and Evan Bollier rounding out the top 5. We didn't even make it to Thursday. We already forgot Evan's last name. We'll get it figured out. We got it written down on a nice pink sticky note here. We'll get it figured out, especially for the press here towards the end of the race. But everything looking good as so far, clean and green. No caution flags here on the road courses. It's just something the North New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group does here when we do the road courses. The tracks are just so long that we don't really want to spend too much time under caution because it takes away from the racing action. And you can see there on the left, check that, the right-hand side of your screen, you'll be able to follow along with where your favorite driver is, as those bubbles represent each of the race car drivers that are out there on track. Those numbers are their position. So you can see that blue 1 dot is position number 1. That's going to be our leader, Austin Belke, in the 24 car. And you can see he's got a little bit of distance over the second place car, Zane Farrell, and a little bit further on back to Corey Casagrande there in third. Listening to these supercars get around the racetrack here. Got to give a shout out to U-House Racing Designs for jumping on board the Verdane TV sponsorship of the instant replay. Not going to have too many instant replays here tonight, as we won't have many caution flags because it's a road course race, but we still got to give a shout out to U-House Racing Designs. Be sure to get them on Facebook, facebook.com/U-House Racing Designs. Lots of cool things hooked up on that page and on the website as well. Big time supporters of sim racing, real racing, as well as the NEP series, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. Lots of button boxes and paint schemes, all sorts of cool stuff. You'll see their logo plastered around these race cars And these drivers here in the NEPs League, even on the real race cars as well, which is always cool to see the connection that sim racing has with the real racing world. And we've got a lot of those connections here in the NEPs League, as a lot of these drivers race in real life. They race out at Stafford Motor Speedway, Jennerstown. Brent Roy, the 26-car pole sitter, last race's winner here, has connections and ties as the manager for Speedway 660 up in Canada. And a lot of different crew guys out on the track here as well, and guys that work on the car back at the shop. And always cool to have that kind of camaraderie. Oh, we got a car around. That's going to be Corey Casagrande spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Finally gets that car stopped. Looks like he's going to hold on to it for a second. He's going to shake the cobwebs out just a little bit. Find first gear. There it is. Gets that thing kicked into first gear. He's going to take off, but not after losing a lot of positions, dropping from in the top 5 all the way back there to the 15th spot. Top 5 looking a little bit like this. Belke up front. Zane Farrell now in the second in that 14 car, and you can see it's quite a bit of a distance now between first and second, and it's even further on back to Evan Bollier in that 56 car. Kenny Kibbe, Matt Shinoski, the top 5, with Ryan Salvatore, the stat man, in that purple and chrome number 12 car. How about that paint scheme? Look at that chrome. That's got to be like 15 horsepower worth of chrome right there on Salvatore's machine. Rocking a little Renault race car purple in there as well. Good looking car. Good looking McLaren for the 12 crew. Congratulations to them. Dale Glessner in the 10, looking mighty fine in that blue and white camouflage that we've seen the teammates run. Jeff Perkins in the 23 car. How about the run he's having? Up 11 spots from where he qualified in the 8th position right now. It's definitely the biggest mover of the race so far. 9th place, Chris Wolfson and John Miller in the number 6 car, holding on to the top 10, and that's a good-looking number 6 car as well, the white and orange little throwback ski paint scheme. Steve Daddy on the 99 car, having a solid run so far. Chrome car on there as well, running just outside the top 10. Keith Lord a little bit further on back in the 17 car. Mike Hopkins, happy birthday to him. He's the birthday boy, birthday bash. Mike Hopkins' birthday bash, 69-ish. And while the sponsor of the race wanted to throw a 69 in the title of the race, even though we're not really racing 69 laps or 69 miles or even kilometers, we just wanted to race 69 for Mike Hopkins' birthday. Nice. 37 minutes to go here at Red Bull Ring, racing the clock, not racing the lap times, and making sure that these drivers have themselves a decent race here. 8 minutes in to the field. John Peters up a couple of spots from where he was, but still not up towards the front. Back here in 14th, right in front of a recovering Corey Casagrande. In 15th, Brandon Marhefka, Jason Ricker, Brent Roy after some troubles back in 18th position. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on that 26 car, but definitely doesn't have the track position he had beforehand. Behind him, chasing him down, Brandon Newhouse in the 3, Jeffrey Brown, Kyle Casagrande, and Scott Bell rounding out the field. But up front, it's still Belke in that 24 car, picking them up, putting them down with a little bit better than 36 minutes to go. It's always good to see the different disciplines of racing styles here on Verdane TV and in the iRacing world. You can check out iRacing.com. They're 40% off for new members. You can check out all the different racing styles, the different cars, the different tracks. There's dirt racing. There's I got the sound all messed up. Got it all fixed out here. We should have tipped your announcers as well. Give a shout out to Kevin out in the booth. Evan out there as well. Evan Bollier got his name right. How about it? Tip the announcers, Mikey from Mike on the Rocks, Eastbound Park, joining us tomorrow night for the RBR Maritime Group, race number 2 in their six-pack challenge. That's going to be very entertaining. Phenomenal race last Tuesday night. Going to be racing at Lanier tomorrow night. Wednesday night, Tim's Corner Live. Going to be very exciting to have a couple of guests on there from Maritime Canada, talking to some race car drivers with Tim Terry, the man. I believe he's joining us on the road. Dylan Langile jumping on board, as well as Denver Matchett, and I'll be doing the production, pushing all the buttons from the production trailer. And then Thursday night, these cats are back. NEPs Night in America, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group joining us for Thursday night racing action. Tim Terry, Aaron Creed joining me in the booth for that one. Going to be one heck of a show, and got a lot of stuff coming up here penciled in for the near future. And if you wanted to join in on some of these races, definitely check out iRacing.com. Lots of new members, lots of new race cars coming in daily, different tracks. We just got released the LA Coliseum, a little quarter-mile track that was put into a football stadium. We just had the Busch Light Clash out there. So we're drinking Busch Light throughout the race car season, NASCAR season as it were, as the action continues here at Red Bull Ring. And be sure to check that out, iRacing.com, 40% off new members for sure. Taking a look around the field, the most exciting battles on the track. You can see dust getting kicked up all the way around. These drivers having a little bit of an off-track incident as they get around this track, but it doesn't seem to be slowing them down too much as everybody able to hold on to their cars. And you can see right now, taking a peek at the 47 of Chris Wolfson, what we can do, we can switch the Verdane TV scoring tower to take a peek at the different car logos that these guys are running. McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, very cool. A couple of BMWs in the field here as well. And these are all cars you can drive yourself on iRacing as well. And it's very cool. The comes with some cars, and there's all sorts of different cars as well. Brent Roy's struggling with that 26 car. Looks like a little bit of an incident there with John Miller as well in the 6 car. Little drivers finding themselves on the racetrack. How about Zane Farrell in the second position right now? He's got about a 3-second gap behind the leader, but he's also got about 3 seconds in behind he and third place. So that's definitely good news for the 14 crew. And we've heard Zane himself say that he's not very good. He hasn't gotten himself a win yet in the New England, Pennsylvania Endurance Series or the Super Truck Series or the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, but he's top 5 of them to death. Very, very consistent all season long. Had a great run the last time we were in these endurance cars last month. Oh, a little bit of an off course. He must be looking over and watching the broadcast on his phone there. Put the phone down, concentrate on driving, Zane. Hold on to it. Holding on to second spot here with 32.5 minutes left to go at the Red Bull Ring. But top 5 of them to death. Having a great run in the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. Currently third in points after this past week, having another top 5 finish in that number 14 car. So great to see Zane doing good. Definitely improved over the past year or two that we've been watching these NEPs drivers here on Verdane TV, and holding on to second right now, about 3 seconds over second place, Evan Bollier. Drivers getting just a little bit spread out here at the Red Bull Ring. You can see distances between each of these drivers. Couple of battles throughout the racetrack, but looks like everybody pretty much getting things sorted out here. Going to have at least one pit stop here, and you imagine it'll come about halfway here, maybe 10 minutes or so from now. 45 minutes total on the clock. We're 15 minutes in. Evan Bollier spinning around, losing the back end of the race car in that number 56. He's going to give up the third position, trying to get that thing spun around without hitting anything, with the race cars coming as well. Going to have to quickly back into the racing groove and try and get that thing to go in the forward direction. Looks like he tried struggling getting that thing back into first gear, but another quick car having themselves a mistake, and here comes another gaggle of cars going to try and get down and around that 56 car of Evan Bollier. But it looks like he's got it back up to speed. Didn't hit anything, so good news there. There's no damage on that 56. But you can see Austin Belke is checking out in that 24 car. He is 4 and almost a half seconds in front of Zane Farrell in that 14 car, running in the second position. And Kenny Kibbe now in the third spot. Matt Shinosky and Ryan Salvatore wrapping up the top 10. Dale Glessner, Jeff Perkins up 12 spots from where he qualified, having a solid run in that 23 car, running in 7th. Chris Wolfson, Steve Daddio, and John Peters rounding out the top 10. John getting that 09 car into the top 10. You can see him there as a little bit of distance in front of Evan Bollier, who just slipped on back, but you can see the 56 has found his groove again and racing just a lot of track position lofts, you can see. But Zane Farrell going to give up that second spot to come down pit road here 10, 15 minutes in to this race. That tells me we may very well have 2 pit stops to have to deal with here. Dale Glessner going to give up a top 10 spot. He's going to come down as well. A couple of team cars coming down to take pit stops. John Peters coming down. Corey Casagrande is going to come down. Keith Lord, Mike Hopkins, the birthday boy, he's going to come down here as well, get service to his machine. And this is big news for Belke and Kibbe and Shinosky, Salvatore, those guys that stayed out on track. Going to give these guys an opportunity to make up just a little bit of time with the fresher tires on those cars, and they know that they've got at least one more pit stop here to go with 28, just shy of 29 minutes left to race here, but about half the field coming on down pit road, and we'll see how long Belke stays out on track before he comes back out. And here you can see the race off of pit road going to be won by John Peters down and away in that 09 car. Corey Casagrande right in behind him. Keith Lord, Brent Roy still getting service to that machine, going to try and hold on to a good finish there. Everybody else getting down and away, and up front still Belke, still holding on to it as he comes across the final couple of turns here. 2 turns left before he gets to the entrance of start-finish line, the entrance of pit road, rather. And there you can see him making that hard right-hand turn off the racetrack. The 24 car coming down to get some service, get some fuel, get some tires, and a little bit of damage repair. Here comes the 4 of Kenny Kibbe. Matt Shinosky going to follow him on down. There's the number 12 of Ryan Salvatore having a phenomenal run. The 23 car as well. Look at that paint scheme. A snake on the side of that McLaren. Flames coming out of the back of it. What a cool looking car. Love that chrome. Griff Wolfson right in behind him. Steve Daddio. Evan Bollier in the 56 car going to come down pit road as well. Definitely going to be needing some tires on that number 56 car to see if he can get some track position back after having that little bit of an incident after spinning out from the top 5, holding on to it. Brandon Marhefka in the 13 car. He's up 8 spots from where he qualified, coming on down pit road to get some service. But you can see here, Austin Belke gets he's down and away and way past pit road already, going to cross the stripe. And he's already halfway down that long straightaway. Austin Belke has checked out. That 24 car on rails, now better than 5 seconds of a lead over Zane Farrell in that 14 car. Kenny Kibbe in third, Shinosky and Salvatore rounding out the top 5. And you can follow along with all your favorite drivers on the left-hand side of your screen. The Bedane TV scoring tower shows the gaps of how far behind your favorite driver is from the leader. And over there on the right-hand side, the U-House Racing Designs track map lets you know where your favorite driver's running. Each one of those numbers, each one of those bubbles represents a driver, and the number inside of the bubble is the position they are running in. So you can see that blue number 1, or that white number 1 inside the blue circle is going to represent our leader, the number 24 car of Austin Belke. And you can see he's starting to close in on the 21st place driver, Kyle Casagrande, as he comes down pit road to get, or just came down pit road. Jeffrey Brown back on pit road, as is the 56 car of Evan Bollier. So I wonder if there was a penalty on those. Looks like Kyle Casagrande off-track incident there in the 229 machine. That is a tough break, but he's going to get down and away. Going to go a lap down here, and it looks like Jeffrey Brown may lose a lap on pit road as well as a leader. Austin Belke drives on by, and you can see it's quite a bit of a gap between here and the second place driver is Zane Farrell. And Zane doing a great job holding on to second. But, oh, there's another car off track. It looks like it's going to be Kyle Casagrande once again, pointed in the wrong direction right at the exit of pit road, holding on to it, going to try and see. Oh, he's going to come out and get in contact with Perkins, it looks like. That was a tough break for Perkins. Wrong spot, wrong time, it looked like, for the 23 McLaren. He's having such a good run, up 11 spots from where he qualified, and definitely an unfortunate event. But Austin Belke still holding on to the lead. 6.24 seconds is the lead now over the second place driver. Taking a look, looks like Perkins still struggling. There might be a lot of damage on that car, off the pace just a bit, and you can see coming up to the hairpin turn, just really hammering on down to the brakes and trying to get that thing around. The 229 car goes around and by, so I think we're going to see Perkins come down pit road here. That car just not up to snuff, losing positions, losing track position as well. There you can see Hopkins and Newhouse in the background getting ready to take over that position. Perkins is just going to park it at this point, having having some trouble with the 23 car. Going to call for the tow truck and call it a night. That's an unfortunate thing for Perkins. Very, very strong car in that 23 car. A little off track for Belke, just a little bit, but he holds on to it. Does a good job straddling the bumpers there on the side of the track and gets everything back up and running. Taking a quick look at Brent Roy. We'll check in on him, holding off the, or trying to get down and around the 3 car there. Brandon Newhouse for the 12th position, and you can see that 12 car, checked out that 26 car very, very quick, and the 6 of Rip Miller right in behind there as well, trying to capitalize on a little bit of passing action. But great racing all the way around the racetrack here so far. Let's ride on board with Brent Roy and see what we've all got here. Beautiful cockpits on the inside of these cars, and you can see, a little 3-wide action. How about that? We go underneath the RedBullRacing.com sign, and you can see just hard racing, heavy braking, hard on the accelerator. Going to open it wide up here, try and make up a little bit of distance on that number 3 of Brandon Newhouse. Newhouse up 8 spots from where he qualified, currently holding on to that 12th position. And you can see just Brent Roy all over the back of the number 3, trying to close in, trying to gain just a little bit of ground to see if he can make his position a little bit better. And you can see just a little bit of damage there on the front of that car, but still holding on to it. Betting TV's very first race here at Red Bull Ring, and it's brought to you by the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group Endurance Series. Race number 2 here of the season, the Mike Hopkins Birthday Bash 69-ish. Not really a 69-mile or a 69-lap race. The sponsor just wanted to make sure that we had 69 in the race title. Nice. Taking a look at the action here. This is the race for third. Shinosky, Kibbe, Salvatore, and Wolfson all up in the battle here, and they're all chasing down Austin Belke. He has checked out better than 10 seconds now to lead between first and second, as we've got a race here for second place, a 3-way dance for second place. As you can see, Shinosky right up in there as well. Salvatore is up in the mix as well, but Farrell holding off a hard-charging Kenny Kibbe in that number 4 car, and these guys know that as they get further and further into the race, just about halfway here in this one, and it's a 4-way battle, a fatal 4-way for this second place, but it's all 10 seconds behind the leader, Austin Belke. Sights and sound of Red Bull Ring. You can see here still a 4-way battle for second place, and you can see Zane Farrell has his hands full. Kenny Kibbe left, Kenny Kibbe right. That 4 car trying to get down and around the 14, trying to get that position, trying to move himself just a little bit closer to the leader in that 24 car, who's pulling away ever so slightly. Again, over 10 seconds to lead Austin Belke has over second place driver, currently Zane Farrell, but we made mention 4-way dance for second place right now, and these drivers doing everything they can to get themselves up around the leader, up to the leader, and up and around him. And you can see Kenny Kibbe finally getting down and around and clearing the 14 car of Zane Farrell, but you're going to go high, wide, and handsome this time by, give Zane the preferred line down on the inside. Zane's going to try and take it, but the door gets closed, and you can see just pulling away a little bit, Kibbe in the 4 machine going to try and set his sights now on the leader, Austin Belke, in that 11.3 second lead, while Zane Farrell turns around, looks in the rearview mirror, and now he's got a mirror full of the 31 car of Matt Shinosky. Going to try and get up and around, see if he can steal away that podium finish there. There's a little off-track incident between Shinosky and Salvatore there in the top 5. And everybody going for the same piece of real estate at this one. Everybody kind of trying to hold on to the same line, but still doing their homework, trying to see who's better where they can get around them, where they can get next to them, where they can potentially get down and around to lay the bumper to them. And you can see Zane trying to stay on the preferred line as we get around this racetrack. But just a good run from Kibbe in that 4 car this time by. Zane going to try and outbrake. Look at how cherry red those brakes are on the back of that car. Great job outbraking in the 14 car for Zane Farrell as he gets down and around Kenny Kibbe and takes that second position back. And they're still going to try and chase down Belke in the 24 car. He's gone. He's half a track up in front of these guys, and you can see just how hot the brakes are getting on that 14 car, driving that thing for everything it's worth. And he's going to try and hold on to the second place in the 14 car. Couple of different battles across the racetrack. You can see the second place battle not easing up at all. Those drivers trying to get down and around the 14 car. A little bit further on back in the field, we can see the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th place drivers. Not quite nose to tail, but they are right up with each other. John Miller in the 6th trying to close in on the number 78 of Hopkins. Hopkins up 9 spots on the evening. The new hard charger here for the night, currently running in the 12th position. And around the racetrack, there you see that second place battle still heating up. Kibbe and Zane Farrell down and side by side. Give that turn there. Nope, not quite. Zane almost had him cleared. Just about came up in front of him. Didn't quite have him cleared. And you can see on board here, this is some intense racing. You can see just how close these guys are. That Western Pennsylvania ride of Kenny Kibbe on the outside and Zane Farrell on the inside. This turn is preferred. He's going to use up all the racetrack to try and get down and around that number 4 car there. You can see a little bit of lap traffic up ahead. Kibbe going to take the position this time by. Zane Farrell going to regroup. He's going to hold on to that bottom side. Really has an awesome run off of the corners here. Closes right up to the back bumper of that number 4 car. And you can see just how intense the racing is from inside the cockpit of the number 14 car. And Zane holding a pretty wheel, having a great run in that number 14 ride. Holding on to 3rd, chasing down Kenny Kibbe, the new 2nd place driver. Everybody chasing down that 13 seconds gap put on by our current leader, the number 24 of Austin Belke. And oh, by the way, coming up on the 15 minutes to go mark, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of pit stop action coming up here very, very shortly. Taking a quick peek, looks like Mike Hopkins had a little bit of an off-track incident in the 78, but he's back at it again. A little contact between he and the 6 perhaps. But everybody grabs the gear and keeps on running throughout the field. And you see the 31 car, Matt Shinosky, has a little bit of breathing room now. He's got Ryan Salvatore in behind him in the purple and chrome car, and they're both chasing down this second place battle. Kenny Kibbe back up to second place, Zane Farrell back to third, and Kibbe pulling away just a little bit, but he's going to have a little bit of lap traffic down in front of them as these drivers continue around this racetrack, getting closer and closer to green flag pit stops once again. And we've made mention a time or two before here in the NEP series, when we do these road courses, we don't have any full course cautions, except for that one time where we spilled some sailboat fuel in the hairpin corner there. That was a mishap that could only happen in Canada when you spill sailboat fuel on a racetrack. But I digress. Austin Belke having a great run. 24 car, 13.5 seconds over this second place battle. It was 4 cars strong. Now it's dropped back to about 3 cars. Kenny Kibbe, Zane Farrell right up in there. Ryan Salvatore and Matt Shinosky a part of this as well, right outside the top 5. Going to be that 47 car of Griff Wolfson holding on to 6th. John Peters has made his way a little bit further up into the top 10, holding on to the 7th spot. Steve Daddio, Corey Casagrande, and Keith Lord in the top 10. And how about that recovery for Corey Casagrande in the 7 car? Dropping on back early on and gaining positions back in that number 7 car, getting a little bit closer to the front. Keith Lord back in the 17 car. He is going to hold on to that top 10 for now. Brent Roy, another good recovery so far, running in the 11th position, and Kyle Casagrande having himself a moment, looks like, in the 21st position. Grab the gear, get going again. Doesn't look like anything is dented or broken on that car, so definitely good news for the 229 machine. But speaking of good news, the 26 going to come down pit road. Brent Roy going to try and get him some tires here with less than 15 minutes to go. Final scheduled pit stop for these drivers, and this is a good opportunity for Brent to potentially make up some time here, especially on these timed races. Little side-by-side battle now between Daddio and the 99, Corey Casagrande in the 7, and Casagrande going to move himself a little bit closer to the front, going to take that 8th position now and try and set his sights on John Peters, currently in at the 7th spot. But Brent going to see if he can get a little bit of an advantage getting these fresh tires a lap or two. There you see the leader, Austin Belke, and that's it. There's nobody behind him. 13.5 seconds back to second place, Kenny Kibbe. Zane Farrell dropping back just a little bit as well. You can see there's the gap between second and third. Matt Shanoski just a little bit further on back. Zane Farrell going to come down pit road. Pitted early last time, going to pit early this time. Is Brent Roy just now leaving, getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of pit road. Extended stop for the 26 car. Belke going to get on around him and lap him. So we'll see if that holds up once he comes down. But there you see Zane Farrell pitting from third place in that 14 car. Going to come down the last four tires, last tank of Sunoco race fuel, and they'll be down in a rate. Corey Casagrande, he's going to come down pit road as well. Teammate to the number 14 of Zane Farrell. The 17 car, Keith Lord, here he comes. He's going to come down. Almost looks like a SpongeBob car with the way that thing is colored in with the blue and yellow. It's a neat looking car. I kind of dig it. Corey Casagrande getting service as well. Zane Farrell already down and away, going to rejoin the field here. And you can see he came out, it looks like, way in front of Brent Roy. So that's going to be interesting to see where everybody kind of falls out, especially with these guys that are coming down early on to get the fresher tires. There's the 10 car, another team car. Dale Glessner going to get his final pit stop out of the way. Scheduled pit stop out of the way, and you gotta figure we'll take this leader coming out of the final corner now, closing in on the 20th place driver. Jeff Perkins going to put him another lap down, allegedly, potentially, but there you can see that 24 car going to make the turn onto pit road, going to get some service done for the leader, 4 tires and some race fuel one more time as we approach 12 minutes to go here at Red Bull Ring. The rest of the leaders coming on down. Here comes Kenny Kibbe. Here comes Matt Shanoski right in behind him. Headlights on and ready to rock and roll. 12 minutes to go in this one here at the Red Bull Ring. Leaders down on pit road. Ryan Salvatore going to stay out for another lap. Going to lead himself one in the purple and chrome number 12. He's going to try and hold one. Little bit of squirrely action there. Hits the bumpers, the speed bumps on the corner there. Does a phenomenal job holding on to it, but he's going to hold on to the lead for right now. Chris Wolfson, currently the second place driver, still has to come down pit road as well. Belke already down and away. Kibbe, Shanoski, Peters all on pit road. Zane Farrell going to go down, cross the stripe, cross the exit of pit road, past the drivers that are on pit road right now, and it looks like he is pretty far back from that leader. Looks like it's going to be about 11 seconds once it all shakes out behind Austin Belke, the leader. John Peters going to come out in 7th place. Great recovery for the 09 machine so far. Daddio Miller, Brandon Newhouse, and Mike Hopkins all down on pit road as well, the birthday boy. And the number 78, how about 9 spots gained for the 78 car as he comes down pit road to get his final scheduled pit stop out of the way here. Ryan Salvatore still holding on to the lead here in this one. Ten and a half minutes to go in this one. Chris Wolfson down on pit road, as is the current leader. Ryan Salvatore going to give up that lead. Hopkins just now leaving. Miller, Ricker, and Newhouse getting service as well. Austin Belke going to re-inherit the lead as he crosses the stripe here with 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Has all the scheduled pit stops out of the way, and you can see he's got a little bit of distance now. A couple of drivers on pit road. That timing and scoring will get itself sorted out here momentarily. Jeff Brown having himself a little bit of an incident there in the 29 car. He's going to gather it back up and rejoin the field, but that's a tough break as we take another peek here at the leader, and you can see that second place is a little bit further on back. Kenny Kibbe, 13 seconds on back. Matt Shanoski gets down and around. He is currently in third, 13, almost 14 seconds back. Have to drop all the way back to fourth place here to find Zane Farrell in that 14 car. A little bit of an extended pit stop. Lost just a little bit of ground and has 9.5 minutes to try and get it back. Ryan Salvatore in behind him in the number 12 McLaren, holding on to it. Best running McLaren here in the field so far. Chris Wolfson in the 47, right in behind him in the number 6. John Peters in 7th. Steve Daddio, Corey Casagrande, the top 9. Keith Lord just getting around Evan Bollier in the 56 as he comes down pit road to get service on that machine. Brandon Marhefka going to come down pit road for the final time here as well. Looks like everybody going to sort on through with the pit stops, and once they all shake out, looks like we're going to have about 15 cars here on the lead lap at the Red Bull Ring. Taking a look around the racetrack, everybody chasing down that 24 car, having himself a perfect race in the Belky machine. 13 seconds, 13.5 seconds. Now the gap back to Kenny Kibbe, Matt Shanoski. Taking a look at those two drivers on your screen. A little bit of a battle, but not quite. Shanoski in a really good spot in that 31 car to try and do some homework. You can see really outbreaks. That number 4 car closes right up into him, but Kibbe just able to pull away on the exits, and he's going to hold on to that second spot for now. A little battle here between Glessner and Corey Casagrande in the number 7 car. Keith Lord back here as well, trying to chase down that number 10 machine. Ooh, a little bit of a squirrel there for the 17 car. Take a look here. Looks like we got another off-track incident. That's going to be Brent Roy having trouble. That back end of that race car does not want to stick in the 26, and Brent started off great. Started off on the pole here tonight. Had a phenomenal qualifying lap. Great effort for that 26 team, especially coming off the win last January, the first race we had here in the Endurance Series. But really struggling with the back end of that race car. Unfortunately, not going to have himself the finish he was looking for. Running in the 12th spot right now with heavy front end damage. So that's definitely a tough break. You can see there Jeffrey Brown in the 29 car going to come down pit road. Unscheduled stop for him. And Austin Belke back up front, going to put Mike Hopkins, Magnum Mike Hopkins in that 78 car, down a lap, potentially. Going to try and get around him, trying to do it cleanly, trying not to make too much of a ruckus. And you can see you're going to get a little bit of room there from Hopkins. 78 car goes a lap down to the leader, Austin Belke, and you can see Belke able to really just kind of check out. It gives Hopkins a good opportunity to do a little homework, see what it is that 24 car is doing to get around this racetrack so quickly, but just doing a phenomenal job in that 24 car. Let's check in the office here of the 24 car on the inside of the cockpit, and you can see just how good of a driver that this guy is here in the 24 car. Nice and smooth, coming up on the corners, holding the throttle open just a little bit, doing a little bit of braking, but just enough to kind of set the car up. Not much tire squeal. That's one of the things that we usually hear a lot of here in these road races, especially these tight corners like here at Red Bull Ring. No tire squeal, and that means he's nice and smooth, and you can hear the car. He backs it all the way down, shifts down through the gears, gets right back onto it, hammers on the throttle. Nice and smooth here for the 24 car. Austin Belke taking everybody to school here in the NEP Endurance League. High five from Barney in the flag stand. Just about 5 minutes to go here at Red Bull Ring, and just need to knock off a couple of good laps here for the 24 car, and he'll be getting that race trophy for race number 2 here in the New England, Pennsylvania Endurance Series, Season 2 for these endurance cars. And We'll be able to take a look at the point standings, the team point standings, as well as the manufacturer standings here as well. Ryan Salvatore, the stat man here for NEP, and Jeff Brown does a phenomenal job doing the race recaps, which you can check out over on Facebook and on Twitter. If you're not following these NEPs guys over on Twitter, you are missing out in a big way. Lots of trash talking throughout the week between all the drivers, the fans, the broadcast team. We like to get in there and rattle some cages just a little bit, but definitely get them over on Twitter at NEPI Racing. You can see it there on the top left of your screen on the Vinane TV scoring tower with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this one. Just a couple of laps. Once that timer hits the 0 mark, we get to finish out the lap that we're on. At that point, we're going to find ourselves a winner here in the NEP Endurance Series. And right now, it's looking like that 24 car going to have the victory. He's got Kenny Kibbe, Matt Shinoski battling it out here for second right now, but they're 13 seconds on back. Nope, check that. That's Kibbe battling it out with John Miller, the lap car, and the number 6 car. And just the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems like, for the 6 car, because you can see holding up pace with that number 4, finally able to get down and around. Kibbe going to take the position on the racetrack, not gain a position as Miller is a lap down in that 6 car. And you can see it's a little bit of a gap now. Back to Shinoski, back to Farrell, back to Salvatore, the top 5. Wolfson having a great run in the 47 car, holding on to 6. Peters with a good recovery in the 09, running in 7th. Daddio, Corey Casagrande, and Dale Glessner rounding out the current top 10. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here at Red Bull Ring. Take a peek there. Steve Daddio in the 99 car. Biggest move of the race so far. Up 7 spots in that 99 car. Trying to make it 8. Battling it out just a little bit with, actually it's a lap car in the, I believe that's the 17 of Lord, potentially. There you can see the 6 of Miller. Trying to close back in on the back bumper of Kibbe in the 4, but doesn't quite have enough to get there. A little bit of damage on the 6 car. And you can see doing everything you can to put on a show here for the fans at the Red Bull Ring, and everybody tuning in here on Vinane TV, over on the Facebook, over on the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know. We got 2 minutes left in this one. 2-minute warning, 2.5 minutes left for our leader, the 26 car of Austin Belke. And you can see that timing and scoring tower hasn't changed much. Kenny Kibbe able to knock off a couple of tenths from the lead, able to put a few seconds on behind him, a little bit of a cushion so he can concentrate out that front windshield. But time is running out. Austin Belke so far has had himself a perfect race, has had himself a perfect set of pit stops, and he has got himself a 13 seconds lead over Kenny Kibbe. A little bit further on back, Matt Shinoski in the 31 holding on to 3rd. Zane Farrell sliding on back into the 4th position. After that last set of pit stops, Ryan Salvatore, the stat man, rounding out the top 5 with less than 2 minutes to go, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy here for Austin Belke. We do have to make mention, every time we have one of these road courses, we get a lead like this, some of the fast guys, they kind of lean back a little bit. They kind of relax. They kind of take their eye off the ball just a little bit, and you may potentially have yourself a mishap or a mistake. Austin Belke has made no mistakes so far here tonight, and he's got 1.5 minutes to make sure that he keeps this race perfect. A little bit of smoke on the track. I believe that's for Keith Roy, who spins himself around. Keith Lord, rather. And that 17 car gathers it back up, and he's going to get down and away once again. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. That's going to be the white flag, a white rag from the flagman, I believe. I might be lying to you, but we might be on the last lap here. It's hard to tell with this timing and scoring, but I believe we were able to get down and around last lap here at Red Bull Ring. And Austin Belke, you can see, still has almost 13 seconds on back to Kenny Kibbe. Kenny Kibbe in the 4 car, a little bit further on back, way further on back, over the river and through the woods, and there you can see the number 4 car holding on to 2nd. Shinoski back here just a little bit further. You can see John Miller still holding on with some of these quicker cars up towards the front. So that 6 car, still very quick, still very competitive, just at the wrong place at the wrong time and losing just a bit of track position. But there you see the 14 car. Going to get down and around. Salvatore is a little bit further on back there as well. That's the top 5 drivers. But Austin Belke taking the white flag last time by. He's got a couple of lap cars up in front of him, but he's got plenty of room in behind him. He can take his time, get down and around. And one of the things we really need to make mention is you don't want to kind of slow the car down if you've got this much of a lead. It'll affect the way the car handles. It'll affect lots of different things, but doesn't seem like that's going to be an issue for the number 24 car of Austin Belke. The timer has hit 0. We have run out of time, as have the drivers here in the New England, Pennsylvania Endurance Series, because that 24 car, Austin Belke, going to cross the stripe. Checkered flag is in the air. The number 24 car going to come home with the victory. We think. We might have one more lap. Just kidding. There's one more lap. Nope, that's the checkered flag. Unofficially going to be the 24 car of Austin Belke finishing up. There you can see Kenny Kibbe finishing in second. In behind him, John Miller a lap down, but Matt Shanowski going to cross the line in third. We'll talk to those top 3 drivers here once we get back to it. Zane Farrell having a good run. Finishes in 4th. Ryan Salvatore in 5th. Chris Wolfson, John Peters, Steve Daddio, Corey Casagrande, and Dale Glessner still getting ready to finish up this race. Couple of turns left to go here for the top 10 drivers. But we'll take a look at the timing and scoring and find out exactly. Ooh, there's a little bit of a couple of off-track incidents there in the background. I'm sure those guys are fine. But how about it? Austin Belke coming on home with the victory here in the Mike Hopkins birthday bash at the Red Bull Ring. And it's a phenomenal way to get yourself on TV just a little bit here. And we're going to talk to the top 3 drivers here momentarily, getting everybody an opportunity to cross the start-finish line. We'll get the results up there on screen and show you where your favorite driver finished here in this one. Taking a look at the unofficial results for the Mike Hopkins birthday bash 69-ish. Austin Belke coming home with a phenomenal race. Perfect race for the 24 car. Going to finish on top of the field, 13.3 seconds. The official clock, the official lead over second place, Kenny Kibbe. Matt Shanowski going to finish in 3rd. Zane Farrell 4th. And Ryan Salvatore rounding out the top 5. And we've got ourselves an opportunity to get down here to Victory Lane and talk to Austin Belke. Austin, that perfect race, man. That 24 car setup on rails. Talk to us. Congratulations.
Yeah, hey man, good to be here. Almost a perfect race. I have to thank Sal for robbing me of a Grand Chelem. I don't know if I had the fastest lap too, but certainly would have led every single one. But Sal pit me for one lap. He's really fast in this road stuff, so good job on his part. But how about the entire Western PA organization doing so well?
Yeah, awesome to see the team aspect here in the Endurance League. All the different car manufacturer, the manufacturer points deal, the team points deal, as well as the driver points deal as well. And no better way to gain some points and having an almost perfect race, like you said, leading all but one lap, other than some of the laps there on pit stop, or one lap on pit stop. It looks like, looking at the final official results or unofficial results, still having to be recorded, reviewed. English language, I struggle with it sometimes. Still has to be reviewed by the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing race officials, but a phenomenal race here for the Mike Hopkins Bash 69-ish at the Red Bull Ring. Want to give you an opportunity here, Austin, to thank anybody that's out there watching, friends, family, sponsors, anybody that makes it happen for the Virtual 24 Endurance team.
Dude, we'll go down the list. Well, first off, Paul, I got to thank you and Verdane TV for bringing our talents and wonderful race to the fan. I have to thank the good Lord and my parents, Corey and Zane, for putting this thing on. My wonderful girlfriend, Jacqueline, for supporting me all the time. Fantastic league that we're in right here. And Chris for, of course, being our team principal at Western PA iRacing. A lot of the guys that let me buy, Brandon, Mikkel, a bunch of guys, all the lap cars are very nice about getting out of the way, and fantastic strategy here today. So thank you guys.
100%. We saw kind of a breakout season in the Super Trucks last year, doing really well in this endurance stuff. What do you got for Thursday night with the Grand National Series coming back?
We'll have to see. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a week-by-week basis thing. Some weeks are good, some weeks are bad. Sometimes I have good luck, and sometimes I have bad luck, but should be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it.
100%. Hopefully we didn't cash in all the luck here with the victory here on a Monday night on Verdane TV. Congratulations, winner at the Red Bull Ring. And we'll slide on down pit road just a little bit further. Going to catch up with the second place driver. Had a hell of a battle with the 14 car, Zane Farrell, earlier on. That last pit stop kind of spread the drivers out in the top 5. But Kenny Kibbe in the 4 car, phenomenal race. Definitely had a quick car, but not quite enough to get up to the 24 car. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little bit worse track position than Austin did at the start, and Austin had a fantastic initial start, and I was a little bit slow. And yeah, he got away, and it kind of became a battle for second there. Some guys in the front had some troubles, so it kind of filtered out to be going after Zane there, and yeah, Zane was really fast. He gave up a really good fight, and it was a really fun battle. We raced clean, and but yeah, every time I got by him, I would make a mistake, or he would have a really good corner and catch right back up in the slipstream. So it was pretty difficult to make that happen. But then finally, we had one really good lap when we got by him, and I was able to kind of break the draft. And luckily, Matt, our other teammate, was kind of back there to give him some pressure and allow us to kind of get away.
And coming home with the podium finish, coming home in the second spot, and made it look easy. Pardon me, made it look easy in that number 4 car. Pretty much stuck to the racetrack all the way around, and definitely a good showing of driving here in the Endurance League for race number 2. And off for a little bit of time for the Endurance Series, but we're back this Thursday with the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, doing pretty well in the points, up there in the top 5. What do you got for them this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of going for trophies. I'm not really in the points for the championship at this point, but Loudon is going to be a tough track. It's tough to pass, but hopefully we can put down a monster of a qualifying lap and just keep her up front all race long. We raced decently last year, but those were in different cars, so I think we'll be solid. But if we can get good track position and just kind of stay up there all day, we'll see what we got.
Sounds like a plan indeed. Got to give you an opportunity here, Kenny, to thank anybody that makes it happen here for the Virtual 4 team.
Yeah, just everybody at New England, Pennsylvania group for coming together and racing these races. These GT3 races have been a lot of fun so far. The Shift Marketing and Design for sponsoring. You guys at Verdane TV for the broadcasts. And a huge shout out to the Western PA group. I mean, what was it? It was first, second, third, and then sixth. And Chris Wolfson didn't even really get to practice, so a great run for him, up 5 spots. Really proud of what this team's doing so far in this championship.
Absolutely, really showing that Western PA is going to be the team to beat here in the team championship standings. We'll get all those stats and information over on the Facebook page after the show. But a phenomenal run, second place here at the Red Bull Ring. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And last but not least, going to catch up with the third place driver, that 31 car, Matt Shinowski, another driver able to really figure this place out and up in the top 5 all night long. Some pretty good pit stops and coming home with a decent finish, coming home third. Talk to us, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yeah, it was just a great race. Just executed the pit stops without making any mistakes and was able to gain some track position that way. And just thrilled to finish on the podium with my teammates.
Yeah, 100%. Really showing the team aspect here. Getting into it, coming home with 1, 2, 3, and 6, I believe it was. The 47 car very quick as well. Chris Wolfson having a good run, making his way up towards the front, picking up a lot of spots. Not quite a 1, 2, 3, 4 sweep, but there's still next month's race in the Endurance League to get that handled. And just taking a look here, we're at Loudon this week. It's kind of a home track for a lot of the NEPs drivers from the New England area, the Northeast area of the states. What have you got going on for the Shift Marketing and Design car? We ready to rock and roll for Thursday night?
Well, I'm actually not in that league, so I'm just in the road racing league, but that is a tough track for those cars for sure.
Oh, maybe we'll get you a car. We'll get you set up. We'll race you on Thursday night. How about that? But a great run here tonight. Nonetheless, the Mike Hopkins birthday bash, 69-ish at Red Bull Ring. Coming home with a podium finish, finishing that 31 car in the third position. And racers, sim racers alike, don't do it alone. Who makes it happen for the Virtual 31 team?
I just want to thank everyone with NEP, Zane and Corey for putting this on. I want to thank my teammates Austin, Kenny, Chris for all their support and their clean race, and also Ryan Salvatore and Zane Farrell. Just great clean racing with those two during this race.
Yeah, phenomenal racing all evening long here, and a great finish here. Congratulations for finishing in third.
Thank you, Paul.
And that's wrapping things up here at Red Bull Ring. Another endurance race in the book. One final look at the unofficial results. The Mike Hopkins birthday bash, 69-ish. Austin Belke coming home with a win. Kenny Kibbe finishing in second. Matt Shinowski finishing in third. And you can see the rest of the field there rounding out on the screen. Brent Roy finishing in 12th, the last car on the lead lap, which really 12 cars on the lead lap with as fast as these drivers were going up towards the front in a 45-minute race. No slouch for sure. But you heard us talk about it this Thursday night. NEPs returns for NEPs Night in America. Going to be racing the Xfinity cars at Loudon, and we're going to see who's going to come home with the victory there. A little home track advantage for a lot of these drivers. Tomorrow night, the RBR Maritime Group comes back to us on Verdane TV from Lanier. Going to be 150 laps in that feature after some heat races and a little bit of qualifying as well. Wednesday night, Tim's Corner Motorsports brings us Tim's Corner Live, episode number 50. Crazy to think we've been doing that for 50 weeks now with a couple of off weeks throughout the past year. But that's going to be a big show as well. Myself, Wednesday night, going to be sliding on over, switching jerseys, so to speak. I'll be on pit road for the S-Rock series, doing a little pit road reporting for Podium Esports. Going to be great to be there on Wednesday night. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to check that out as well. But if you don't do that, make sure you come back here, right here on Verdane TV. We're going to be doing it live Thursday night as the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Series visits Loudon. Going to be big time racing at the short track in New Hampshire, and it's going to be a blast. We hope to see you there. Want to make sure we thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to Verdane TV on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the Twitter, the Twitch, all that good stuff. We'll catch you on the flip side. When we do, we will be doing it live.